inevitable and it could lead to serious repercussions. That is why I believe that we need to opt for changing the international law in line with the requirements and demands of today and in accordance with the changes in the situation in the world. In this sense, certainly in the UN Security Council, such countries should be represented that are acquiring significant clout in international affairs, and due to their potential, they have an opportunity to contribute to resolving international issues. What countries am I talking about? India, more than 1.5 billion people live in India. Over 7% GDP growth, 7.4 or 7.6%. That is a giant in the world. Indeed, there are a lot of people there who need assistance and help, but nevertheless, high-tech export is growing exponentially. It is a grand power. It is becoming more stronger with every passing year with the leadership, under the leadership of Prime Minister Mojo. Take Brazil in Latin America, big population and big clout, South Africa. How can we not take into account their influence in the world? That means that their clout in decision-making in international agenda should also grow. But certainly it should be done in such a way as to strike a consensus in these changes. It is a very complicated matter. It should not destroy the current international regime. It is a very complicated matter, but I believe that we should move towards this. You believe that the existing international legal regime is still existing. It has not been destroyed. Well, it has not been destroyed completely, that's for sure. Let us recall the first years of the UN, how the Soviet foreign minister was called Mr. Gromyko. He was called Mr. No. Why? Because there were a lot of contradictions. And the Soviet Union often used its right to veto. But it was important and it prevented conflicts. In our modern history, all too often we heard from Western leaders that the UN system has been outdated, it does not meet the needs of today. And especially it was said during the Yugoslavia crisis, without any Security Council sanction, the US and its allies started bombing Belgrade.
They were ruthlessly bombing it. They even hit the embassy of the People's Republic of China. Where was international law back then? They said no. They didn't need that international law. It was outdated because they wanted to act with impunity, with disregard of international